The following scenario is hypothetical and presented for educational and entertainment purposes. By the time a human notices that something is wrong, a dog has often been standing there for several minutes, quietly looking smug about it. That is the first unsettling detail. We like to imagine ourselves as the flagship model of evolution, the deluxe edition with abstract thought, opposable thumbs, and the ability to invent flavored coffee. Then a dog walks into the room, sniffs once, and detects what we cannot, the invisible chemistry of fear, illness, stress, and change. Not metaphorically, not spiritually, chemically. The world to a dog is not a scene. It is a cloud of evidence. The reason begins in the nose, though calling it a nose is a bit like calling a particle accelerator a tube. Humans have roughly 6 million scent receptors. Dogs can have up to 300 million, depending on the breed, along with a far larger brain region devoted to processing odor. To us, air feels empty unless something obviously reeks. To a dog, air is crowded, layered, and gossiping constantly. Every step a human takes leaves behind a trail of skin cells, sweat compounds, hormonal traces, and microbial signatures. We walk through the world believing we are discreet. Biologically, we are more like leaky little chemical lanterns. That is why the mystery gets interesting so fast. Disease changes metabolism, and metabolism changes the compounds released through breath, sweat, urine, and skin. Stress alters hormones and skin secretions. Fear can shift body chemistry in measurable ways. A dog does not need a diagnosis or a confession. It reads the exhaust. Somewhere inside that absurdly cheerful face is a wet black instrument panel receiving data you did not even know you were broadcasting. Scientists have spent years trying to map exactly what dogs detect in cases involving seizures, certain cancers, low blood sugar, or acute anxiety. The answer is not magic, although dogs do enjoy acting as if it is. The answer is volatile organic compounds, subtle biochemical markers, and sensory processing, so advanced it makes human perception look like an old flashlight with weak batteries. And yet the deeper question is stranger than simple smell. If dogs can detect the chemistry of a body before symptoms become obvious, then what exactly are they noticing in us all day long, every day, while we keep smiling and pretending everything is fine? The unsettling part is that a dog does not merely smell a person. It smells a timeline. Long before a fever rises enough for a thermometer, long before a panic attack fully blooms, long before a human says, "I am fine," in the tone that means the exact opposite, chemistry has already started shifting. Cells change their routines, hormones enter circulation, sweat glands alter their recipe, breath carries new trace compounds. To us, these changes are microscopic whispers. To a dog, they are a marching band in sequence. This is where the science becomes almost rude. Humans like to believe observation belongs to vision. We trust what we can point at. Dogs, meanwhile, work like detectives who skip the witness interviews and go straight to the molecular evidence. Their noses separate odor layers the way trained musicians separate instruments in an orchestra. One current of air may contain your breakfast, the detergent on your sleeve, the grass from your shoes, the emotional residue of a tense commute, and the first metabolic hints that your blood sugar is dropping. You call that nothing. Your dog calls it an eventful morning. Researchers studying medical detection dogs have found that this ability is trainable, but not invented by training. Training is more like giving a genius a filing cabinet. The raw talent is already there. Some dogs learn to alert to changes associated with seizures, diabetes, or certain cancers, because those conditions produce distinctive chemical patterns. Others seem to notice fear or distress with eerie speed, probably because stress hormones and related compounds change body odor in ways the canine nose can track. This does not mean dogs understand disease the way a doctor does. They do not sit there building a pathology report in their heads. They detect anomaly first, explanation second, which is honestly more than can be said for a surprising number of people online. And evolution had excellent reasons to build such a system. For a social hunter and scavenger, detecting weakness, tension, fertility, contamination, and hidden prey from scent alone is a survival jackpot. A dog that could smell the difference between healthy and unhealthy, calm and alarmed, safe and risky was not merely talented. It was the family member least likely to lick the wrong mushroom. Over thousands of generations, that nose became less a body part and more a biological surveillance network. But there is a twist that makes the whole story even stranger. Dogs are not only reading our chemistry. In some cases, they may be reacting to changes before we produce any outward clue at all. That is the detail that keeps the subject balanced right on the edge between laboratory science and campfire unease. A dog may react before the trembling starts, before the collapse, before the tears, before the polite human mask slips even 1 millimeter. From the human point of view, this feels almost supernatural. From the dog's point of view, it is probably just another Tuesday of dealing with dramatic primates who insist on ignoring obvious data. The explanation is still grounded in biology. Bodies are never static. Even in silence, even in stillness, they are busy broadcasting status updates in chemical form. A coming seizure, a spike in stress, a shift in blood sugar, an infection building quietly in tissue, all of these can alter metabolism before the conscious brain has caught up. And metabolism is noisy. It leaks clues into breath, skin oils, sweat, and microscopic particles drifting off the body like invisible confetti from a party no one admitted was happening. Dogs intercept that confetti with astonishing precision. What makes this especially fascinating is that dogs do not experience odor the way humans do. We treat smell as background, a side note to sight and sound. For dogs, smell is structure. It is geography, biography, and weather report all at once. When a person changes internally, the dog is not noticing one dramatic signal like a flashing red light. It is perceiving a pattern shift across an entire living scent map. One note goes sharp, another goes flat, and suddenly the whole composition tells a different story. That is why some dogs become restless, stare, paw, nudge, or refuse to leave someone alone. They are not being mysterious for theatrical effect, although they do wear that role beautifully. They are responding to evidence, and perhaps that is the funniest and strangest lesson buried underneath the science. We built civilizations around language, paperwork, and medical instruments, yet one of the sharpest early warning systems in our lives may still be a furry creature whose main hobbies include chasing shadows and negotiating with furniture. The joke, apparently, is on us. We thought we domesticated dogs. In reality, we may have invited highly specialized biological sensors into our homes, then rewarded them with biscuits for repeatedly saving us from ourselves. Which raises one final, deliciously unnerving question. If evolution gave dogs the power to smell what our bodies are trying to say, how much of the truth about us has been sitting quietly at our feet this entire time?